Dan fans, how are we today? I haven't put my glasses on yet. Never mind.
What about the Phoebe fan?
The hashtag Phoebe fans.
Phoebe fan. Welcome to day 26 of April vlogs. I'm filming this while stuck in a very slow line of traffic with a lorry behind me, and I'm pretty sure everyone can see that I'm talking to myself on my phone, but I'm beginning to lose all shape. I don't care anymore. I'm going to try and do today, just to keep it interesting, because it's Friday today, so I'm on my way to work, which means I don't often get the chance to show you a lot of interesting stuff. So I'm going to try and do today on a kind of hour by hour basis, and there's no trickery here. I have waited in my car and it is now 2 minutes past 8 in the morning, so I can start the 8 a.m. slot on the vlog. I've been in the car now for about just over half an hour. I left just about 7:30, and it's now just coming up for about 8:05. Traffic has definitely been quite slow, but I think I'm going to make it to work at a reasonable time, and I'll be able to eat my overnight oats and catch up on some messages. I'm still woefully behind on replying to comments, but I'll get there, and I am reading every single one, and they are making me very, very happy and smiley, and I'm sort of nodding along with some and laughing at others and grinning at some of the other ones. And so thank you so much for your continued encouragement. It's quite difficult. I feel nervous every time I press publish on these videos, because you're putting yourself out there on the interwebs and anything could happen, and I feel very lucky that this little community of people are all such positive, lovely human beings, and it makes a big difference to my life for the better. So thank you. I think it's a bit too early in the morning for me to start rambling on, isn't it? So I'm just gonna continue to inch along in this long queue of traffic and get to work. When I woke up this morning, I had the most cracking headache. It does seem to be subsiding a bit, and I've taken some paracetamol, so hopefully that's not going to persist all day. It does seem slightly unfair, because I had a really good night's sleep and I was asleep by 11, being very grown up and sensible. Anyway, to work I must go. Okay, so it's 8:20, and I've just arrived. I'm going to eat my overnight oats in the car before heading in nice and early to get set up and started. I just wanted to talk very briefly about magpies. I had a couple of questions about the because I know I keep mentioning, I've only seen one magpie, and I have to say I've seen 3 single magpies this morning, and it has been at least a week since I've seen a double magpie. But it's from the old nursery rhyme about magpies, which is 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, 3 for death, 4 for a boy, 5 for a girl, 6 for gold, 7 for a secret never to be told. That's all wrong, just so you know, but the first 2 are right. 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy. So I always think that if I see 1, I'm going to have a bad day, or something bad's going to happen. If I see 2, it'll be a good day and I'll have good luck. I am not superstitious about anything, but for some reason that is something that plays in my head whenever I see magpies. And if I see 1, I'm not happy until I've seen its mate. I think it's all to do with the fact that magpies mate for life. So if you only see 1, it's sorrowful because he's obviously lost his mate. So that's the story of magpies. And I'm now going to eat my breakfast. thought I'd take you out on a lunchtime stroll around the grounds of where I work. The museum is set in the grounds of what's thought to be the oldest psychiatric hospital in Europe, and the grounds are huge and very, very pretty. It's a working hospital, so you'll only see mostly the ground here, albeit very pretty ground. So you will have seen the little 5 p.m. thing come across the screen if all is going according to plan. But it's actually now 20 past 5. Got out of work a bit late today because we had a meeting from 3:30 till 5, which is a horrible time of week to have a meeting at that time on a Friday afternoon. But it was a really interesting meeting. I don't have to go to meetings a lot as part of my job. But this one of my colleagues thought I might find interesting. She was right, it was very interesting. There were people from museums across London there, and it was really interesting to hear everything they were talking about. I find meetings in general quite hard. Before I do the job I do now, I was a PA, a personal assistant, so meetings were a huge part of my job, like minuting meetings and taking notes. And I found it became a lot harder for me to exist in a meeting room after I had my operation in 2012. In case you don't know, I had ulcerative colitis for my whole adult life. I was diagnosed when I was 19, and I got gradually more unwell throughout my 20s and 30s, and eventually in 2012 I had my entire large intestine removed. It's called a total proctocolectomy, if you want the medical lingo. Yes, so I now have a J pouch, which is like an internal bag. So if you imagine what you think of the traditional bag on the outside, it's kind of like that but on the inside, and it's made out of my small intestine, which is absolutely miraculous and amazing and has saved my life and made things so much better. Anyway, you may wonder why I'm talking about this internal plumbing situation. Towards the end of the day especially, but throughout the day always, not that I notice much, it's like a very, very loud gurgling stomach. That's exactly what it sounds like. It just sounds like I'm super hungry, but it does it a lot. So sitting in a very echoey museum meeting room can be quite difficult because I'm very conscious of my stomach, and sometimes it makes no difference because you can't hear it. And it was a little bit noisy today, but I don't think anybody noticed because everyone was too busy talking and it wasn't that bad anyway. Anyway, so that's one of the reasons that for me going to meetings, I get a little bit anxious about. It's the little things, isn't it? Anyway, I've now been talking for almost 3 minutes about mainly bowels. Lucky you. So anyway, the working day is done. I'm now on my way home. I'm extremely glad it's Friday. I'm going to have pizza, as we always do on a Friday, and I'm definitely going to have a glass of wine. And my mother-in-law and her husband are coming down tonight. They won't get here till about 8 o'clock. And they'll be staying until Sunday, which adds another element to the weekend. So yeah, lots to get ready for when I get home, but first I've got to get there, and it's a bit rainy and I'm stuck behind a learner, so I'm going to whack the radio up and try and enjoy my drive home. Totally doing this deliberately so that I go in soft focus. Is that distracting? Let me move. There, I think that's better. I'm less glowy from behind, even though I lose the soft focus, so I'll just hold the camera further away. There's my card from Lorraine up there, and that's a very little Lilia up there as well. Anyway, it's about 7:30 now. Dan's gone out to collect the girls from their Phoebe's at brownies and Lilia's a young leader, so they'll be home in the next 15 minutes, and Dan's mum and her husband will be here within the next hour. So I'm going to make the most of 20 minutes of quiet. I'm going to pour myself my Friday night glass of wine, but the first glass of wine, and I'm going to look through my parcel from Lorraine all over again in quiet happiness until the mad rush of the evening starts. Dan's home. Hello. He's home.
I'm riding on my bike. Look how I can get this watch on it.